Hey everybody, Pastor Andy here from Antioch Church of the Brethren. Uh, Pastor Bilbo is also here, once again, on the floor, where he usually is. And I'm once again wearing my Neverland Skull Rock shirt. You can see Peter Pan and Wendy and Michael and John on their way to Neverland. And that'll fit into what I'm about to say. Because for our devotion today, we're going to be talking about anxiety. We're going to be talking about one of the most heavily quoted passages from Paul's letters. This comes from the last chapter of Philippians, and this is where the Apostle Paul says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." Do not be anxious about anything. Who here has mastered that skill? I would love to talk to you about how you manage to do that. Our culture is one of the most worry-driven cultures in history. We have trained ourselves to multitask. We've trained ourselves to think that we have to be busy at all times and fill every moment with something productive. Um, and it's destroying us mentally, physically, spiritually, relationally, for sure. So, what do we do with this? Do not be anxious about anything, but present whatever we worry about to God in prayer. It requires being still. It requires being okay with some quiet. It requires slowing down, thinking, not about what we have to do next, but just being in the moment. We make our anxieties worse by dwelling on them, of course. What Paul goes on to say here is he says, "The peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus." The peace of God, that is so much more than anything that we can imagine, any form of earthly peace, is the opposite of anxiety, the opposite of worry, of nervousness, of fear. You know all the things that you're worried about. Maybe it's finances, maybe it's health, maybe it's politics, maybe it's that annoying person on Facebook, maybe it's something to do with church. If you're Bilbo, when are they going to give me another treat or a walk? I'm hoping he didn't hear me say that. We worry about all sorts of things, but where's the peace of God? And this is what Paul then says after that. "Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." We do have some control over how we think. We might have to train ourselves to think differently. When Peter Pan comes to the nursery of the darling children and invites them to fly to Neverland, what does he tell them to do? Think happy thoughts. Not think fearful thoughts, nervous thoughts, angry thoughts, sorrowful thoughts. There's a place for those. But if we want to fly, if we want to transcend this world and dwell with the peace of God, we have to train our minds to think about things differently. To think about those things that are pure and lovely and admirable. So if you're going through a tough time with anxiety right now, think of the happy thoughts. Train yourself. Have a list. Make a list of the things that you are grateful for, that you're thankful for. Go through that list periodically. And see if by the end, after a while, you find that peace growing within you. You find yourself taking flight in new ways? If you do, you'll find yourself feeling years younger. May the peace of God be with you. Bye.